Good morning, guys. Welcome to day 39 until I'm a YouTube millionaire. I wanted to elaborate a little bit more on my previous statement that our default, de facto state as human beings is dumb. No matter how much wisdom, how much age, how much experience we think we have, or in like absolute terms, compared to other human beings, we do in fact have. Because, as I said before, and this stands true just as before, we don't live very long lives, at least in this era of our history. If you believe that back in the beginnings of the Old Testament, people like Methuselah lived until they were 800 plus years old, or whatever it was. I don't remember the exact number. Or you believe that in the future we'll live to the same ages or even beyond with advancements in life extension technology and whatnot. At least in this era, our maximum life expectancy is around 90 to 100 years. We don't live that long. You juxtapose that with the relative blip in the history of the universe of the human race, or let's just say human civilization to start. Human civilization, 6,000 to 10,000 years. That is, since recorded history, where we had agriculture, farming, organized cities, and stuff like that. And then the cognitive revolution, where we actually started building multi-story houses, having full-blown towns and whatnot, which happened 70,000 years ago. It was a sudden explosion in our intelligence. And yeah, that legitimately happened. Before that, were still fully human. 200,000 years ago, still fully human, right? But the average intelligence of the human species was so low to the effect that we couldn't figure out how to build two-story houses, or how to actually construct a workable government, or to conceptualize things outside of us, have a significantly powerful enough theory of mind. And I personally believe that the trigger to that was belief. As far as I am concerned, the trigger to that, the thing that caused the cognitive revolution 70,000 plus years ago, was when we had a fully fleshed out concept of a higher being beyond us, an ability to see back in time and forward in time, to have hope in things of the future that we cannot see, in beings that we cannot see. Personal opinion. But anyways, that was 70,000 years ago. 70,000 years, blip in the history of existence. Of the universe, that is. 200,000 years since we've been fully fleshed out human beings, approximately. Since we actually evolved into Homo sapiens sapien, right? This isn't very long at all. To put that in perspective, the Jurassic era was 65 million years ago. Had giant dinosaurs walking around the Earth, right? And the Earth is 4.5 billion years old, as we understand as scientists, as our best understanding gets us to see, right? The solar system is just a hair older than that, about an extra 150 million years or so, when nuclear fusion was triggered in a sustainable manner. I can't talk right now. Sorry. In the core of the sun, and that's when the solar system had its explosion of energy outward that caused the coalescing of the celestial bodies around the sun, Earth, Jupiter, the other planets, right? And then 13.7 billion years ago, when the Big Bang happened and the universe started, as we understand it. So our default state, no matter how much education we give ourselves, no matter how much experience we give ourselves, no matter how many creative ideas we think we have, is ignorance and stupidity. That is our default state. Therefore, the wisest thing you can be as a human being, period, end of story, is humble. So, juxtapose your perceived intelligence and understanding. Dunning-Kruger is a big thing in our world. Very big thing. Where we think we know more than 6,000 years of human history, and that suddenly we became a hive mind and we can all be communist. Pardon my language, but that's fucking retarded. But we're all retarded. Right? Every one of us. Anyway. So like I was saying, compare that with a being that created said universe. Just to really, really put a point on it, make it as black and white as possible. Do you think your understanding would even have an inkling of what theirs has? Why do you think there's such great grace that is given to humanity by God? It's because God knows we're all children. There's always a point where you can say, you cannot expect a baby to eat a steak or a 2-year-old to understand complex calculus. And there's always going to be stuff we don't know. We don't know how to make wormholes just yet. We don't know how to travel through time just yet. But imagine we did. There's nothing new under the sun, as the Bible tells us. That's what that means. And it is for that reason that to give the most profound and lasting and understandable lessons, truths must be told in parable. And yeah, you might be able to parse out certain elements of said parable that don't really jive with the reality in which you live. That is to say, they seem out there. Like, oh, suddenly the sky turned white, or sky turned, purple, right? Or suddenly a tree lifted up into the sky and just floated right in front of you. Or suddenly I manifested a gold brick in my hand, right? Whatever. Things that don't jive with your reality. Okay, so you're going to be able to cherry pick a few of those things out of a story. What do you get out of that story? You get the fundamental lesson. And if it's that little cherry-picked item that gets you to remember the story, you'll get the lesson out of it. All right? We don't know shit. We're doofuses. Okay? And one of the greatest ironies of our greatest teacher, Jesus, and our understanding of him, is that there is more proof of his existence and of the things that he did 2,000 years ago than there is proof for the emperor of Rome that existed at that time. And yet somehow, so many of us still believe that we know better. Think about that. All right? That's all I got for today. Love you all. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.